Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily transparency update. So as always, that's just us breaking down my gains and losses for today, talking about the movements that went upwards, and then talking about the ones that went down in the red as well. So as you all can see, I'm at an all-time high once again for the portfolio. Tesla stock is at an all-time high, Apple stock is at an all-time high, and Microsoft did rebound into the green after what was a pretty red day until that point in after hours, I believe, or at least it was at some point later in time. Yeah, after hours, so about 4:55. But what we're really going to be focusing on today is a recent purchase of Tesla stock as well. So yes, I'm buying Tesla stock at an all-time high, and this is not just one of those typical purchases of me adding in like maybe 1 or 2 shares. I bought 10 shares of Tesla stock today. I went from 36 shares to 46 shares. And before I get into this, as always, if you all do enjoy these transparency updates and me being honest with you all and showing you the moves that I'm making in the market, please make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. But getting into this, like I said, I bought 10 shares of Tesla stock. That's around $21,000 in total. It's about $20,600 and some dollars. So a huge purchase. And as you all know, I have a credit card bill at the end of this month, and that will be paid off. I have enough money set aside right now for that. And then I've also been selling some physical things lately that I just realized I don't need it anymore, and I'd rather put it into Tesla stock and grow my money. So I've been doing that so I can pay off my credit card as well. And so just addressing how I got this $21,000, keep in mind this was a pretty tough decision, but I'm going to explain it all. I decided to sell 100 shares of Microsoft. So as you all know, I had 195 shares of Microsoft stock, and if you look at it now, I only have 95 shares. It takes up 15% of my portfolio, and Apple takes up around that percentage as well, 15.35. So I'm actually really satisfied with the current position ratios with both Microsoft and Apple. I'm kind of satisfied that they have like a very similar percentage position. In addressing why I decided to do this, yes, you all know that I'm pretty bullish on Microsoft stock, and keep in mind, nothing fundamentally has changed for me. If I really wanted to exit out of this stock and didn't believe in it, then I would have sold my full position. Nothing really has changed for me, but I've been thinking about this for a few days and never really thought that I would actually do it, but I decided today to finally sell some Microsoft stock. At first, I was actually only going to sell $10,000 of Microsoft stock, but then I decided, especially after we saw this little bit of a dip right here, I think it was like right in this point right here when I had already sold 10,000. I sold 10,000 about where my cursor is right here, and then I decided to sell another 10,000 in Microsoft stock when Tesla hit this point. So I decided to buy a little bit of that dip that we saw there, and like I said, nothing has really changed for me in terms of Microsoft stock, and the reasoning for this decision is just because I'm a lot more confident in this situation with Tesla, where I think there's going to be a lot of things happening with the company, a lot of scaling going on with their business, and a notable amount of growth, especially over these next 10 years. And I looked at it, and kind of one of the major deciding factors for this that kind of convinced myself on this, for one thing, in the past, anytime that I've had a gut feeling that I should purchase a stock or a gut feeling that I should do something, when I decide to act on that and act on what my instincts are telling me, usually it turns out very well. So far, that has been buying Tesla even when it was at $950, holding through on Tesla even when it dropped 2/3 and went down to 364 when I had bought 2 shares at $950. And then once again, me buying Tesla at $830, $840, $850, $900, $950, $1,000, $1,300, $1,500, and still continuing to buy Tesla. So far, that gut feeling, that instinct has worked out well for me. And another example of this in the past was when I sold $32,000 of VOO back in May to put that into Microsoft stock and Tesla stock. And with that move right there, yes, it was risky. Some people said you shouldn't have sold VOO, but I followed my gut instincts, and I ended up making a lot more in gains compared to what I would have right now. Even with VOO nearing all-time highs, I still made more with Tesla and Microsoft with that reinvestment than what I would have made with VOO. And I actually put a lot of that VOO money into Tesla. So I've made a lot of money based off of that one decision alone. And so basically over time, I've realized when I follow my instincts, now of course, this isn't going to be a 100% thing. In the future, I'm most likely going to be wrong on something. It's just bound to happen. I can't be 100% correct on everything. And there's times in the past where I've made mistakes as well. So of course, my decisions aren't always ideal or anything like that. But I've noticed consistently in the past, when I do follow my instinct, when I follow what I believe in and things that I have conviction on, then it usually turns out well. And this has happened with Tesla stock. This has happened with me selling VOO and putting it into Tesla and Microsoft. And this is just another one of those things where I would much rather have $20,000 go into Tesla stock than Microsoft stock. Like, for example, if I had $20,000 right now at this moment, before I had even sold Microsoft stock, I know that I would put it into Tesla stock. And I've been trying to sell things and get as much money as possible for me to put into Tesla stock, even at this point. So I know that I want to put all of my money that I can get into Tesla right now because I see opportunities for the long-term future for this stock. I think this is going to seem like one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Obviously not once in a lifetime because we've had huge companies grow like Amazon, Apple, and others like that. But you know what I mean, like a really big opportunity. So I looked at it and I said, okay, if I had $20,000 right now, even aside from if I sell this or not, if I had $20,000 right now, I know I would put it into Tesla. And even way back in like June and July, for one thing, I had to save a lot of my money to pay taxes in July. And I also had to save money to pay on my credit card in August. So that's the reason I haven't been purchasing Tesla stock. So yes, I get those common questions. Why are you buying near these higher prices when it was cheaper back then? Now, my response to that would be hindsight is always 20/20. We could have never predicted where Tesla stock would be today anyways, but my main response would be that I simply just didn't have money. When I have money, I put it into the stock market, and when I'm not buying stocks, it's usually because I have to put it into something else. I'm just honestly like a dollar cost average person, and then I especially capitalize on situations where there's a big crash or a big dip, and I try to put a lot of money in at that point as well. And to be honest with you all, I've always wanted to put more money from Microsoft into Tesla, and the only major thing holding me back would be the fact that I wouldn't have held it for a year, meaning I would have to pay more than just the 20% capital gains tax. And there's really a big reward for holding a stock long term. If you hold it for more than a year, then you only have to pay a 20% tax rate, and that's really nice when you have some really solid gains. So I was sitting there thinking, okay, this is the major thing holding me back. Now, I would have to hold Microsoft until probably May of next year if I wanted to get this discount on the tax rate of only 20%. And then I thought about, okay, how much do I think Tesla could grow between now and May of next year? And I sat there and I thought, okay, look at how much it's grown so far. Look at the progress we're seeing with the company growing. Look at all of these news pieces that I've been covering on this channel. What makes sense here? And so I asked myself that question, and then I realized I'm going to bite the bullet. I know that I'm going to have to pay a higher tax rate. But keep in mind, I started to think about the tax rate, and I was thinking, okay, I've made $8,000. Keep in mind, $8,000 was here for the total return before I sold. I was looking at my profits, and I was like, okay, I've made $8,000. If I sell $10,000 in shares, that's pretty much $2,000 in gains that I would be taxed on. So even in the case that I get taxed on 50%, which there's no possible way because I don't make that much money, I just use 50% as worst case scenario. Even if I get taxed 50%, that's only like $1,000 in taxes if I sell $10,000 of Microsoft stock. So that was kind of my logic where I was like, well, I'll only have to pay $1,000 worst case scenario on that gain if I do sell it and put it into Tesla. So I thought, you know what, purposefully waiting until I only have to pay 20% for capital gains taxes, waiting many months in the future towards May, that would be like counterintuitive if what I really want to do is put it into Tesla, and if I'm only going to have to just pay a little bit more on those gains. And honestly, I don't mind it too much to pay a little bit more in addition to just the 20%. Keep in mind, I'm self-employed, so you kind of get taxed at a higher rate than normal people that are employed by employers. So that's kind of another disadvantage that I have with my position that I have to keep in mind with these things. But I thought about it and I thought, okay, what I really want to do is put more money into Tesla. And I thought about it more and I thought, okay, I would probably regret it more if Tesla absolutely skyrocketed in the future, in the long term, even more than it already has. And honestly, I think that's pretty likely over these next 10 years for Tesla to really grow a lot and us to look back at this $2,000 share price and think, wow, that was pretty cheap back then. And so I thought about it more and I thought, okay, I'd probably regret it more if I didn't sell this $10,000 of Microsoft and put it into Tesla, and then Tesla all of a sudden skyrockets once again, or just grows tremendously over these next couple of years, than in comparison to if I did sell that $10,000 in Microsoft, put it into Tesla, Tesla didn't really grow too much, kind of plateaued a little bit, and Microsoft grew a little bit. I honestly weighed those two comparisons, and I thought, okay, what I want to do is put my money into Tesla. And so I did that, and at this point, Tesla was around at this share price right here, like 2055 or something like that. And so then I used all of that same logic once again and thought, okay, what if I did that once again? with another 50 shares of Microsoft, another $10,400. What if I did that again? Would that be a good idea? And I used the same logic once again, and I once again use that comparison. That would be another $2,000 in gains that I would be taxed on. So that's just like worst case scenario, another 50%. So another $1,000 if we're just doing a rough, generous estimate here. Keep in mind, like I said, there's no way I'm going to get taxed at a 50% rate, but I'm just doing it as a rough estimate, and I think, okay, that would be $2,000 counting both of these sales of 100 shares. That's $4,000 in profits, or let's say after taxes, I would have to pay $2,000 on that profit. So still, I get an extra $2,000 that I've gained from Microsoft already, and as people say all the time, there's nothing wrong with taking profits, and I kind of agree with that sometimes. Like, you can't really say, oh, you're wrong for doing this, you made profits on this, that was a bad move, because if you really look at what happened, they still made a profit, they still made money, so that's to their advantage. And so I kind of use that logic as well. I'm not losing, it's not like I'm selling at a loss. I even sold VOO at a loss and still made a lot of money because of that reinvestment into other stocks from VOO. I sold VOO at a $2,000 loss. I had invested $34,000 into it, and I only had $32,000 at that time, so I lost $2,000. So that's kind of my logic here. I took profits on Microsoft. I got some profits that I was pretty satisfied with, like 24% in profits. That's like $4,000, so I'm really happy with that. And then I put it into a stock that I'm really excited about and passionate about and have a lot of conviction for. So all of this together is kind of like the perspectives and justification I went through to make this decision. And I like to keep it transparent with you all. And like I said, Microsoft still takes up 15% of my portfolio. These two right here still take up 30%. Tesla takes up about 70%. But Tesla is one of those stocks where I feel like people are really going to look back on this one and think, I could have made a lot of money if I invested into it. Just like right now, how they look back on it and say, this was $200 at one point, or this was $300 last year. It was $200 and $300 last year, and then it hit $364 this year in 2020 during the dip. So like I said, I think people are going to look back on this one like we've done with many in the past, like people have done with Apple as well. Like, imagine Apple in this dip, $229, and now it's already at $500 almost. It's at an all-time high. So I really have a lot of faith and conviction in Tesla stock, and I've done my research, I've done my homework, and yes, I realize this is a risky move. I understand what I'm risking right here. I understand this is 70% of my portfolio. This is like $95,000 in Tesla stock, $94,000. I understand what I could lose here, but I have a lot of faith in this one, and then I also have faith in these others as well. Apple stock is going crazy lately. Microsoft hasn't done a lot over this past month, but still, I'm up 25%. Like I said, I still have $4,000 in gains that I haven't cashed out. So anyways, I just wanted to make this video updating you all on my most recent purchases of Tesla stock. I decided to readjust my portfolio a little bit. Oh, and I almost forgot. We've got to run through the numbers for today. I almost forgot that part. So plus 1.22% for Tesla for today's return. That's plus $1,139.34. And then for the total return, we are at plus 76.44%, or plus $40,896.12. So we did go down from like plus 120% down to plus 76%, and that's just because I've added in $21,000 of Tesla stock. So of course the total return will go down when you add more shares at that current price. And then Microsoft stock, we're still at plus 0.02% for the day, or plus $4.75. That's plus 25.23%, or plus $4,107.96. And the irony here is that I sold Microsoft stock like right in this range right here, and then all of a sudden it bumped up in the after hours like a significant amount and regained pretty much everything that it lost today. So that's a little bit of irony, but regardless, I'm still satisfied that I'm in on Tesla stock. That's what I'm really looking at, is the fact that I'm in on Tesla stock more now. That's what matters to me. So I don't go back and look at things, because you cannot be ideal with the stock market. It's pretty much impossible to predict the bottoms and the tops exactly. Just no one can do that, and that's why people like us still make money. That's why retail investors make money, or algorithms would be doing that constantly, and nobody like us would be able to make money. And then finally, we have Apple stock. Like I said, all-time high for today. That's plus 5.41%, or plus $1,075.20. And then for the total return, we are at plus 74.40%, or plus $8,935.32. So now Apple is kind of near Tesla in terms of the gain percentage, just because, like I said, I put 21,000 in Tesla, and so it brought the gain percentage down a little bit. Regardless though, I'm still happy with everything. The portfolio is something that I'm really satisfied with. Now it's a little bit more concentrated on the Tesla end, but I understand that risk. I understand what's going on, and I'm pretty much all in on it. But anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Please make sure to smash that like button, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. And if you sign up with Webull with my link right now and deposit $100, you'll get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. So that's nice passive income. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.